Killing Floor has not a steep learning curve. You can just jump in there and play, but it can be quite hard, it can be a little daunting. Normal might seem really hard if it's your first time playing and you jump into a game yourself, but please don't be tempted to play in beginner. Beginner just teaches you bad habits like not aiming for the head, etc. Jump in normal, try and get a multiplayer game, and your team should carry you. And even if you die at the start of the wave, spectate, see what people are doing, and you will get better in no time. If your aiming isn't perfect, if you're not an FPS pro, that will not hold you back too much in Killing Floor, because it's about the tactics and the team dynamics, so you'll pick it up in no time. Now I'm going to move on to more specific tips for the different characters. Let's start with Medic. Now if you followed my advice on healing your teammates, you should be pretty far up in terms of leveling your Medic. I was halfway through level 3 leveling my Medic before I had even been Medic. The Medic is a really important class. These guys have a crazy amount of armor, and they get a great armor discount, and armor is so important in this game. Another point is that they've got healing grenades. So say the clots. If the clot grabs you and you can't move and you panic, then all of a sudden 5 are on you. The Medic has the unique ability to have no problem in that situation. See, if you fling a grenade at your feet, it will damage them. It's like a poison grenade essentially, whilst also healing you. This is also so valuable if you see a teammate in that situation. If you see a teammate in that situation, fling a grenade over there, fling 2 grenades over there. Bearing in mind, you can only have 5 grenades, so they're such a vital source. So don't panic and fling 5 grenades unless you're really certain that you're going to save some people's lives with those grenades. The primary goal of the Medic is to heal your team. You can shoot some things if you see it on a teammate. You can help them out in that capacity. Don't shoot the bigger enemies. Just focus on the crawlers. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just focus on the crawlers, the clots, and the gorefasts. But primarily, you should be healing your team. A lot of people feel that the Medic's a chore, but I get a good buzz out of saving my teammates from certain death. The only time the Medic class becomes a bit boring is if your team is so good, in which case you're probably playing on a too low difficulty level. If your team is so good that just no one's getting damaged, then the Medic can be a little bit dull. The final point about the Medic: because of the armor bonus, they can take a lot of damage. Now, I'm not advocating that the Medic runs and jumps in front of every flesh pound they see, but if a flesh pound gets accidentally enraged and it's going to go for a teammate who's very low health, run in front of that teammate and tank that damage. Just take it. Hopefully, I mean, it's a sacrifice. In a situation that's happening so fast, you have to make so many decisions. If my teammate is going to die and I know he's a decent player, I will happily run and jump in front of that flesh pound, and then hopefully he'll be grateful, he'll back me up, he will shoot that thing, hopefully we'll be speaking and everyone will be shooting it, and I'll get out of there scot-free, and I might have lost half my armor, all my armor, but hey, it's really cheap, I can buy it again, and I've just saved my teammate's life, and then I can heal him up, and that could be the difference between getting past that wave and your whole team dying. It's worth thinking about. It's one of those more advanced tactics. Okay, so let's talk about the Sharpshooter. Initially, Sharpshooter was one of my favourite classes. The Sharpshooter's great because it is the only class who gets a bonus off the very first weapon you spawn with, the pistol. Don't underestimate the pistol. The pistol can pop heads off like no one's business. But as a sharpshooter, your primary role is not trash. By trash, I just mean all the weaker enemies. Your primary goal is the Skrakes, the Flesh Pounds, and as a secondary, I'd also highly recommend you take out the Sirens and Husks, because those things can be a pain in the ass at higher difficulty levels, especially the Husks. The Husk can wipe out a character with like nearly full armor in one direct hit, so really pop their heads off, because you can see them when they're far away, take their heads off. See if you see a sharpshooter shooting a Scrake or a Fleshpound, don't join in. They do not want to invite other people to that party. They can stun a Scrake with a headshot, then they can shoot it again and keep that stun loop on the go. They can take out a Fleshpound single-handedly. Obviously, if they miss a shot and they're like, oh no, I missed the headshot, it's unstunned and it's running towards us and it's going to kill us all, yeah, please help them. But until that time comes, don't fire on the Scrakes and Fleshpounds.